Welcome back to the podcast. It's my father, Scott,
Hello.
and mom.
And Mom, we want to talk a little bit about what we did this weekend.
We saw Miss Burgess, her old teacher from middle school.
Yeah,
She's an awesome prayer warrior for me.
yeah,
Great lady, and her whole group of friends and prayer team.
yeah,
That was well. They're awesome.
yeah. They were awesome. So it was my Mrs. Burgess. She was the pastor's wife of the founding pastor of our school that I went to growing up, from second grade to graduation. And she taught in middle school, and I was really in my English. So she whipped me into shape um, and got me up to speed and helped me a lot. I think about that a good bit over the years about all the help that she gave me. So when the accident happened, she was on Facebook a lot more than me. So she, tuned in right away and started praying. Her and her prayer group at her residence that she lives at, they meet every Tuesday. So she started praying right away with her prayer group, and she was chiming in a lot during all the prayer requests that I was asking for. So since we've been home for over a year from Atlanta, here's Nathan needed to take a nap again. Since we were home from Atlanta, I've been wanting to go visit her. I actually, over the years before this accident, I've been wanting to go see her because they lived up in Michigan like we did, and she moved down in the early 2000s. Um, and so I've been wanting to visit her because my aunt would go see her and stuff. So, but I never took the time to do it because it's about a 3 hour drive across the state. So I really wanted to do it since we were home. So we I told Scott, and Scott's like, let's make a point of going and be intentional. So I reached out to her, and it just worked out that we went this last week, and it was kind of a last minute thing. So it was really humbling, and um, she was so encouraging during all of it that with her and her women praying all the time, and such an encouragement. So I just can't even say how much it meant. But and Scott was really excited to meet him too, and Nathan, of course, because neither of them had ever met Mrs. Burgess.
Stop crying.
I know, I always do. So I don't know if you wanted to chime in, Scott, about the visit.
Well, such an honor to meet Mrs. Burgess and her prayer warrior partners, and to thank them. I
Yeah.
think that often we are asked to pray for people, um, and put them on our prayer list and pray. And before this incident, I would do that, and I thought of it almost more of a sense of duty, um, to pray for these people that I was asked to pray for. But living through this miracle and having so many people pray for Nathan and being desperate to be heard, um, I think that it changed my outlook on things. That so when I'm asked to pray for somebody, um, I have a different heart about it. It's not a sense of duty as much as it is just an opportunity to be a part of their miracle. And so I just wanted to share that with Mrs. Burgess and her prayer warriors, that they were a part of Nathan's miracle through their prayers. And it was just
Mm-hmm.
an honor to meet her. Um, I thought it was interesting too on the way there. Because I had never met Mrs. Burgess, so I asked Sandy. I said, "When's the last time you've seen Mrs. Burgess? I know you've stayed in touch with her through Facebook." And Sandy said, "I don't think I've seen her since I graduated." And I was like, "Okay."
It's a long
And
time.
well, I know my wife looks young and like she has just graduated not too long ago, but it has been a few years. And I just thought it reflected on that for a moment and just thought how cool it is that that's one of the good things with social media, that Sandy was able to stay in touch with Mrs. Burgess, because
Mm-hmm.
without uh, them being in touch through Facebook, that contact probably would have been lost years ago.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Burgess and her whole prayer team wouldn't have been a part of praying for Nathan's miracle.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was really cool because just the interaction, talking to some of the women and their questions for Nathan. Nathan's so quiet about stuff, so he's kind of short and sweet to
Unless
the point.
he's giving me a hard time.
Yeah,
Then he's not quiet.
he's giving Scott a hard time. It's just nonstop for the jugular.
It's a necessity.
It's a necessity, yeah. So, but we had a lot of giggles and laughs, and it just is humbling
Very humble.
to be around women of faith that pray me daily, and were asking if they didn't hear from me. They were asking what they could specifically pray for, and it was really amazing. And I know that from what they expressed, that it was an amazing thing to see God work in miracles, and to be a part of that was just really cool. We've heard from, probably, it's got to be close to 100 people, if not more, through messages or in person, about how this watching us walk through this time has blessed them, or changed their walk with God, and strengthened their faith. So it's just really cool how far reaching it is. So I'm gonna do a couple clips with the girls talking, that I turned the phone on and videoed them a little bit. So I've gotten there okay. So that was fun to hear some of their interaction and all that.
It's such an impact. It just brings everything so real to them,
Mm-hmm.
because he is a walking miracle,
For sure. Yeah.
and they kind of see what God can do.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have faith.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
So what do you think?
I'm thankful.
No, I mean about all of this. Anything? You're so quiet.
He is quite.
I'm proud and thankful for you guys.
Well, it was a pleasure and a privilege. That's how we looked at it. Just to find something on the internet. There you were, a stranger,
Yeah.
and we could be a part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we have breakfast together about 2 or 3 days a week with 2 other women, and we're all Christians. And so I showed them the video that you had made from the very beginning. The only thing that goes so fast, I'm thinking, oh, I want to see more of
I
that.
slow it down.
Okay. I'll do some slow. They tell you to do them fast because people lose
I know.
interest.
Terry does the same thing. She has the sweetest little grandson. He's 18 months now. And she'll do a, sort of like you do, a
Yeah.
snap of here, I've been doing this and this and this, and I'll think, oh, I want to see more of that.
I know, and you can't stop it. You have to like rewatch. Yeah.
To watch it over and over and over again.
That's why you do it, so you get more views.
Yeah, right.
It's all about the views. No kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But yeah.
Now, well, Nathan can act really crazy too. I've seen him act up with his
Yes. He
give him
does.
a hard time.
He's he's a partier, and he does give a hard time. He should have been a lawyer, I think, because
It may be.
he tries to negotiate everything. He's like, no, let's change here.
And the funny part of it is, usually we know from our therapy department here, most of the therapists are really serious. And they just could not be serious around him.
No.
They were always laughing and
Yes.
joking and
Yes,
being crazy
Yeah.
right along with them.
Of course.
exactly. Yep.
Trees and cars my sleep.
Yeah, he kills trees in his sleep.
Trees and
Because
cars.
the tree died that he hit.
And cars.
And cars.
Kill 2 things.
Yeah, two
So
things.
you actually have dreams as if it's happening over again?
No.
No, he doesn't remember any of it. He was sleeping.
He doesn't even remember when we were in Atlanta much.
No, yeah.
So. But tell him what died besides the tree. You shared this, and this is kind of deep.
Depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
Depression and anxiety.
Yeah. He said that's, he's told me one night we were getting ready for bed, and he said, Mom, we were joking about him killing the tree and totaling the car all while sleeping. And he said, Mom, that's not the only thing that died that day. God killed depression and anxiety in me. I'm like, oh. So,
That was wonderful.
yeah.
Yes. and
Yeah.
that you recognize that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well, that's understandable.
yeah.
Anything that had happened to you like that,
Mm-hmm.
what's to worry about?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. God's got it.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
Nothing.
Just think.
Just thankful
Well, we'll
and blessed.
and blessed for sure. We are so blessed. And we wanted to say thank you to Terry Burgess. That's Mrs. Burgess's daughter. She was really good. We didn't end up snapping a picture with her. I thought of it a couple times, but I was so enjoying our visit that every time I thought about it, we were in the middle of conversation with her, and then it would slip my mind, and we never did grab a picture of her. But most of the good pictures are from her. She took them for us. So, but she got us some dinner and just made it really nice for all of us. And
Yes, you did. Thank you, Terry.
it was amazing. Thank you so much, Terry. Next time we're around, hopefully we can visit again. We'll snap some pictures with you. But anyway, thanks a lot.